welcome to Dan's Solo Gaming. We have something a little different this time, taking a break from both Final Girl and from Book It. This is the third new game to be featured on the show. This is one I picked up fairly recently, BLEAK MOOR, Smugglers and Wreckers. This is one that I just happened to come across on Board Game Geek while browsing, and the premise was interesting. As the back of the box says, BLEAK MOOR is a single-player card game that forces you to enter into the unsavory world of wrecking, the despicable act of luring ships onto treacherous rocks so you can plunder their cargo. The basic concept is that you're being blackmailed. Each blackmail note comes with information about a ship that's coming past the BLEAK MOOR area, and you're given the option to lure it onto the Devil's Teeth, these rocks off the shore, have the ship break up, and then of course you can plunder the cargo to try to pay for the ransom that's come in each of these notes. There are dangers that come along the way. There are patrolling redcoats that you may encounter during your raiding, and those redcoats can actually capture and then execute one of your allies, or yourself if all of your allies are gone. They can, there are also survivors of the ships that may turn up on the shore, and you then have a grim choice as to what to do with these survivors. Sometimes goods can be stolen. Sometimes you don't have the right person holding the lantern to lure the ship in, and the ship will go right past, escaping danger, which is good for them, but not so good for you. So it's an interesting little game, and I do mean little. When you order it from Zadorf.com, the publisher's website, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. The game itself, by the way, created by John Grills. When you go to Zadorf.com, you can order the game, and this is what you get. This very small box with the cards in it. It's a very cost-effective production. And you can then go onto their website and print out the rule book, or just look at it on the website. Either works. I printed it out just for ease of use. In the extras section, you can also get the map or playing board, whatever you want to call it, and print that out. That's actually not required. You can play the game without the map, but I think it adds a nice little bit of flavor. Incidentally, I did print it just on regular 8x10 or 8x11 paper, and that's probably a little too small. You might want to print it bigger if you can, but this works fine. So anyway, we're not quite set up. I wanted to do the last little bit of setup on camera here. We do have the map set up with the various people you can hire to help you, each with different abilities. The game box itself serves as kind of your home base. And the main deck of cards here is shuffled. I haven't yet set up the ransom note cards, so we'll give these a quick shuffle, and then we're going to take 6 of these, and those will be the ransom notes for our game. The rest just get set aside. So again, different ships may appear in different games, keeping things interesting. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So these go out of play. These 6, I drew 5, didn't I? There's 6. These 6 will be the ransom notes we get to play with, that we have to respond to. Also, I should mention, because I am still new to the game, I decided to make it a little bit easier. On the back of the rule book, there's the For the Weak and the Foolhardy, which have rules for making things easier or harder, whichever you prefer. For the easier game, it suggests removing 1 or more of the redcoat, survivor, or steel cards from the game. There are, I believe, 4 redcoats, and then 3 steel cards, and 3 survivor cards, and I removed 1 of each of those from the game. So we have to deal with possibly 3 redcoats, 2 survivors, and or 2 steel cards. And the steel cards I'll explain if one comes up. So with that, I think now we are actually not ready to go yet. We also need to draw 2 pieces of cargo that we start with, and these will allow us to hire our first helper or helpers, or we may decide to keep one depending on what the ransom note says. So we'll draw our first ransom note. The ship that's coming by is the Interceptor, which has 7 pieces of cargo loaded onto it. The ransom note itself demands 1 box of tea and 1 ream of, not ream, 1 skein, I guess, of fabric to pay it off. And we have neither of those currently, so we can use both of these pieces of cargo that we already have in hand to hire help with this this grim task. To hire any of these, it just takes 1 piece of cargo. And again, each of these has a different ability. Hope can help you see redcoats coming, so that you can possibly avoid them. Amazon can swim to get cargo that's caught on the rocks. Ox has a cart, so he can carry an extra piece of cargo. Scarlet can collect locked cargo pieces. Hawkeye, the lookout, can also help you see redcoats coming. And then Pip is just kind of happy to be there. He doesn't have any specific special ability on his own. Now, I do want to make sure that we can capture this ship easily. So I'm going to hire Hope because she has the highest lantern power, and I'll explain that in a few moments. So I'll hire Hope and discard 1 of these tobacco cards. And then I'll take the other, and I will hire... Probably Hawkeye is a good bet to pick up, so I'll hire him as well. So if I put Hope on the my crew to pick up cargo after the ship crashes, I myself can carry 2 pieces of cargo. Hawkeye potentially can carry 2. That's the number on the kettlebell there. Hope can only carry 1. We do need to send 1 person to the Lover's Leap, rather, to signal the ship, basically setting up a false lighthouse that will lure them into the Devil's Teeth, the rocks, and cause them to crash. Lantern power of the person that you place on Lover's Leap has to be equal to or greater to the lantern power of the ship. And I believe that the highest any ship has is 3. So for this first mission, I'm going to send Hope onto the Lover's Leap to signal it in. And I'll have Hawkeye join me on the cleanup crew to collect the spoils. So at this point, we need to determine the whether or not the interceptor here has been intercepted. We have, again, 3 lantern power up here on the Lover's Leap. So we need to have equal to or less than 3 on the ship's lantern power for a success. So that's the symbol here. The ship only has 1, so Hope's 3 beats that. So the ship has been lured into the rocks and crashes upon Devil's Teeth. So now we can start drawing cargo and see what we can collect from the wreckage. Hope, since she was sent to lantern duty on Lover's Leap, she now goes home, but we can hire her again without having to pay for her. Once you hire one of these characters, they stay with you for the duration of the game, unless, of course, they are captured and executed. But me and Hawkeye, we can carry collectively up to 4 pieces of cargo. So here's our first piece. It is a piece of fabric, which we need. However, this symbol means that it is stuck on the rocks, and we don't have Amazon to swim out there to collect it. So unfortunately, we aren't going to be able to get that piece of fabric. Ditto this crate of tea. This is locked. So if we had Scarlet, we could collect that. Alas, we do not. So we're doing well so far on this wreck. There's another box of tea that's stuck on the rocks. Okay, here's a crate of tea without the rock symbol, so we can collect that one. And there's another crate of tea that we can collect. And There's a bag of wheat, no symbol there, so again, that can be collected. And there's a bolt of fabric. Our last draw allows us to potentially fulfill our ransom note. So we've drawn the 7 pieces of cargo that the interceptor has. So Hawkeye takes 2 of these pieces home. I take the other 2. These pieces, unfortunately, we were not able to collect. In fact, even if we had been able to, we wouldn't have the manpower for it. So, Hawkeye, for the moment, is retired. We get these 4 pieces of cargo back at our home base, and I'm going to then draw the fabric and one of the tees, discard them, and that resolves this first ransom note for us. So, successful first turn. Here's our second ransom note, the Intrepid. This one needs a bag of wheat and a bolt of fabric to resolve it. It carries 5 pieces of cargo. Based on the 2 things we still have in hand, we do want the wheat for the Intrepid. We just have to find fabric to resolve this note if we keep the wheat on hand. But I will use the tea to hire. I think probably Amazon is a good bet to be able to collect pieces of cargo that are on the rocks. So we will hire her. And now we will head out for our task. And I am going to put hope again on Lover's Leap to hang on to the lantern to try to lure them in. Amazon can carry 1 additional piece of cargo versus last turn. But again, she can also help us collect those pieces that are stuck on the rocks since she is able to swim. So, we have to have, again, lantern equal to or greater than 3. And we accomplished that. That's a 2. Alright, so here is our first piece of cargo. And Amazon is paying off already. We have a bag of wheat that is on the rocks, but she can collect that for us. Okay, now we have steel. This is somewhat unfortunate, but again, we are able to collect this bag of wheat, so it's not as crucial. The steel card basically means that while we're away, somebody, we don't know who, and it doesn't matter who, somebody goes to our home base and steals one of our pieces of cargo. And of course, we only have 1, so this piece of wheat goes away. So third cargo card, we have a barrel of rum, which is, again, stuck on the rocks, but Scarlet can handle that for us. I'm sorry, Amazon, rather, can handle that for us. We have a bag of tobacco, and we have 1 more draw for this ship, hoping for a bolt of fabric, but we'll see what comes up. It is tobacco, it is stuck on the rocks, but we can still collect it. So the steel card goes away. Unfortunately, we're not able to resolve this ransom note this turn, but we are halfway there at least. And again, we come home with kind of a sampler pack. 2 bags of tobacco, 1 bag of wheat, and a barrel of rum. So let me put the resolved ransom note. Where's a good place for that? I'll put it next to the discard pile here. So, let me set this up so we can see everything. So we'll get our third ransom note. The ship is the Montana, and this one has 5 pieces of cargo. One nice thing is that the note itself only needs 1 bag of tobacco to resolve, and we actually have 2 of those already. So that's helpful. As far as our crew goes, I think I'll take 1 of the bags of tobacco since currently we only need 1 of them to resolve this ransom note. I'll take the other and hire someone. We might as well hire Scarlet. She's, again, helpful in opening locked barrels of, or locked pieces of cargo. So we'll hire her. And we now have a 4-person crew. Once again, I'm going to send Hope to the Lover's Leap. And then we have Hawkeye, Amazon, and Scarlet all able to help us in our looting. The Montana itself has 5 pieces of cargo aboard it. And we have a box of tea, which is on the rocks, but we can collect that. Oh no, we have a red coat. Now, we do have Hawkeye in our crew, which is good because that means he spots the red coat coming and raises an alarm, so everyone has a chance to escape. With Hawkeye, when you escape, you are able to take any cargo that you can carry, so this raid is not a total loss. We can actually take this one piece of tea. Unfortunately, the rest of the cargo the Montana was carrying is not available. Now, if we didn't have either Hawkeye or hope to see the redcoat coming, when we escape, one of the members of our crew stumbles and then is captured by the redcoat. They get hanged, and then they can't help us, obviously, with the rest of our raiding, being dead and all. So, hiring Hawkeye, again, makes this raid not a total loss. We don't lose any crew members. We do at least get 1 piece of cargo out of the deal. So, that's not the one to discard. We discard the red coat now, since this turn is over. And our friends all come home, fortunately. And we get our tea. So, as far as our notes go, I'll use the tobacco to pay off the last ransom note. So, we have 2 paid off. Still need that bolt of fabric for the note that came with the Intrepid. Here's our 4th ransom note, and this is nice. Another 1 cargo ransom note. This note, we just need wheat, which we actually have 1 of. The ship is the Odyssey, so it has 6 pieces of cargo on it. So since I have her, I might as well send Hope to Lover's Leap again. So we have our other 3 friends, Scarlet, Amazon, and Hawkeye, to help with the raid. And of course, I can carry 2 things myself. So here is our first, and it is a bolt of fabric, which we need for this ransom note. So I think, yeah, we can pay off this one, or we can pay off this one. Maybe we'll get more wheat. Or maybe not. Steal means one of these at random gets stolen. I hope it's not the wheat. It's the wheat. Damn. This turn's not going so well. Actually, I'll leave the steal out because it does count as one of the cargo draws. We get more fabric. We get some rum. And we get another red coat. And same as the last turn. Hawkeye sees him coming, so we can escape at least with what we have here. So we do get the fabric, we get the rum. We lost our wheat since it was stolen while we were away. So unfortunately, we don't have that going for us. Well, let's see what our 5th ransom note looks like. The Argonaut, carrying 6 pieces of cargo. Needs wheat and tobacco, neither of which we have. So we definitely need to kind of pick up the pace as far as our rating goes. I'm going to put Hope here on Lover's Leap again. Did I forget to draw a lantern card on the last turn? I think I did. That being said, it doesn't matter too much with Hope because, again, the highest number that you can draw is 3, so I don't think it affects the outcome of the game, but I should have drawn a lantern card on the last turn if I did not. Anyway, we have our other folks here. Equal to or better than 3. It's 2, so there you go. And this ship has 6 pieces of cargo. There's another bolt of fabric, which is locked, but Scarlet can pick the lock on that. We have the captain, who's a survivor. So again, we have a grim choice to make with the survivors. As far as the rulebook goes, you can either let them live. The problem with that is that they are sure to raise an alarm, so we'll need to leave Smuggler's Bay immediately and only take what we've already salvaged with us. We could also kill them and continue to salvage this turn, but we'll have to lay low after that, so the next time a ransom note is drawn, we can't act on it right away. Yeah, we only have one ransom note left anyway. So, I think this is tough, actually, because we won't be able to raid on the next turn. We won't be able to raid again at all if we off him. But if we let him live, we only are able to take this one piece of fabric with us this turn. I think that's probably the better option, and be able to raid as much as we can on the next turn. So yeah, we'll let the captain live. It is kind of a tough moral quandary, isn't it? You know, if you're putting yourself in this situation. Alright, so we'll send everyone home. We get our last ransom note, and oh boy. The Nautilus carries carries 8 pieces of cargo, but it does need 3 things to resolve the note that comes with it. So we definitely need to get as much as we can on this next turn. So just to ensure things, we'll put Hope on lantern duty again. We have 2, so indeed we succeed in wrecking the ship. So here is our first. We get tobacco. Locked, but we have Scarlet. Oh, we have the anchor. This is basically a wild card, so this is good to have. It does take up 2 slots as far as how much weight can be carried. So, say Hawkeye here can carry 2 pieces of cargo, but the anchor counts for both of those. Again, I can carry 2 myself as well. So we'll assume I'm carrying the anchor. This will be the piece Scarlet's carrying. And wheat, so Amazon can carry that one. We have another thing of tobacco. And we have another survivor, darn. So we have the same choice. You know, the good news is that this is our last turn, so if we kill him, not being able to act on a ransom note isn't that big a deal. So yeah, basically after this, all we're able to do is try to pay off all of these ransom notes. We don't have another turn after this. So, yeah, I think the sailor is gonna go to Davy Jones's locker. So we kill him and we can continue raiding. Boy, the morality in this game it really is interesting. So the sailor counts as 1, we have 4, so we can draw 3 more cargo pieces. There's rum, so this is, let's see, I'm carrying the anchor, Scarlet, Amazon. These would be the 2 things that Hawkeye is carrying, and that's the limit of what we can carry. So we'll take these things back with us to One Tree Farm, I believe it's called, our home base that's represented by the box. And at this point, we'll see if we can pay off all of our debt here. So we need wheat and fabric for the card from the Intrepid, and we do have 2 pieces of fabric to pay that off with. So this one's finally resolved. We need 1 bag of wheat for the Odyssey card. Can we do that? The only thing we can do is use the anchor because it's a wild card. So we'll give them the anchor instead of wheat for this one. And unfortunately, we need wheat for... Yeah, we need wheat for both of the other 2 ransom notes, and I just don't have any. So unfortunately, this game is going to be considered a loss. So yeah, this is a challenging one, both challenging conceptually, also challenging in terms of gameplay, but it is enjoyable. I do like this one. The little solo game doesn't take long to set up, doesn't take long to play, and again, it has some interesting and difficult choices that come with it. So yeah, this one gets my recommendation, and you get some cool artwork too. looks like a few different artists drew the characters you can hire. I'll just flip over the other two so you can see those characters. Pip kind of looks like Milhouse if he took his glasses off. Yeah, I do especially like the artwork for the 3 female characters. They're well drawn, I think. The map, again, not necessary to play the game, but I think it does add some nice flavor. And the card back. I'll have to see if I can find out if that's an actual painting. It looks vaguely familiar. Not striking me offhand. I mean, it's obviously an actual painting, but what I mean is like a well-known painting in a museum. It's a little Winslow Homer-ish. I don't think it's him. It may be original to the game, but it is cool anyway. The artwork on the back of the character cards is kind of neat too. Yeah, anyway, we'll call it a night here, but thanks for watching. I'll probably do another video, see if I can win this one on camera. And we'll do Final Girl at some point. I know I keep putting that one off, but I just haven't had time. Ditto Book It. I still, someday, we'll do that hybrid promotion game. And we'll find some other stuff too. Recently got a Vagrant song that I've played both multiplayer and single player. By single player, I'm playing 3 different characters myself, but Vagrant song that just came out. Really cool game. So I might do that sometime. We'll see. Anyway, have a good night. See you soon.